Welcome back to the Digital Dilemma. I am Nick Dreyfus, and today's episode isn't just for CEOs. It's for every single person in the company. If you're an employee, a manager, or a team lead, and you know deep down that the technology in your organization is holding you back, this episode's for you. Because here's the reality. You can be the hardest worker in the room, but if your tools are broken, you're fighting a battle you can't win. Now, does that sound familiar? So if you're not a CEO and you're listening right now, do me a favor. When this episode hits home, share it with your leadership team. And don't just send them the link. Tell them why you shared it. Tell them you're tired of wasting hours every week on data entry, moving files, and clunky processes when modern platforms and AI could automate half of it or more. Because if leadership doesn't hear from you, they'll keep pretending everything's fine. Now for the CEOs and owners tuning in, buckle up. I'm not pulling any punches in this episode. If your company is struggling to grow, it's not your people. It's not your culture. It's not that you just can't find good talent. The problem is staring you in the face. It's your technology, and you're ignoring it. You are the one holding your business back, period. Stop blaming your people. I see this over and over. Leaders blaming their staff for being unproductive, unmotivated, or not working hard enough. But here's the truth. Your people aren't lazy. They're burned out from fighting broken tools every single day. They're spending hours on 27 different workarounds just to get through one task that should take 5 minutes or less. If your systems were built properly, it would be much more efficient. And guess what? That frustration, it's not their fault. It's yours because you haven't given them the tools to succeed. Now, here's a great question for you. If your team is constantly stressed, overworked, or disengaged, have you stopped to ask if it's because you're forcing them to use outdated, clunky, and unreliable technology? Well, here's some red flags you're ignoring. Let me call out the warning signs that scream your tech is the real problem. Number one, slow systems, constant downtime. If your people spend more time waiting for files to load than actually working, congratulations, you're paying for wasted payroll. Shadow IT. Here's number two. If your employees are sneaking around using Dropbox, Gmail, or their personal phones to do their job, that's not initiative. That's a cry for help because your official systems are not working good. Failures. Number three, if small projects stall, deadlines slip, or hybrid teams can't collaborate, don't you dare call it a culture issue. It's because your communication tools do not work. Number four, is morale in the gutter? People quit not because they hate the company, but because they're sick of fighting uphill battles every day with tech that's supposed to make their job easier, but doesn't. Another good question. How many hours of payroll do you waste every week on inefficiency your team doesn't create? Do you even know how many workarounds your people are running behind your back just to keep things moving? When your best talent leaves, do you blame them? Or do you take responsibility for the outdated systems that drove them out? Here's the biggest blind spot CEOs have. You treat IT like a cost center instead of a growth engine. Fuel that engine. You want to scale, but your foundation is sand. You can't double revenue when your systems collapse under basic pressure. And yet, instead of fixing the foundation, you throw it back on your team. You expect them to grind harder, multitask more, and magically overcome the fact that their tools are broken. That's not leadership, that's negligence. Now ask yourself, if your revenue doubled tomorrow, would your systems hold up or would they choke and take your business down with them? This will bottleneck your own company's growth. Now, here's a wake-up call. If you want growth, stop blaming people and start fixing tech. Audit your systems. Number one, stop pretending you know what's working. Get an honest assessment from a third party that has nothing to do with your organization. Number two, listen to your team. If they're complaining about inefficiency, they're not whining. They're pointing out blind spots you may be totally unaware of. And who knows best? The people doing it 8 hours a day, every day. Invest like growth depends on it, because it does. Stop nickel and diming IT. Every dollar you think you're saving is costing you 10 times more in lost productivity, turnover, and missed opportunities. And let me prove it to you. At my company, we helped an organization that was ranked 5th in their industry here in our market. In less than 2 years, they went from number 5 to number 1. How? We didn't replace the people. We didn't overhaul the leadership. We upgraded their technology. We reduced the number of physical servers that were slowing them down and built them smarter, leaner infrastructure. The same people, the same leadership. The only thing that changed was the technology foundation, and it transformed their growth trajectory. Another question for you. So what's your excuse? How much longer are you going to let your outdated technology choke the life out of your business before you do something about it? Now, here's the bottom line. Your people aren't the problem. You are. If you keep forcing them to fight broken technology instead of actually addressing it. Stop hiding behind excuses like culture or talent shortages. The truth is, if your systems are clunky, insecure, or outdated, you are the ceiling on your business's growth. And if you're not a CEO, but you know the technology in your organization is holding you back, do your team a favor. Share this episode with your leadership. And when you share it, explain why you did. Because every hour your team spends doing repetitive, low-value tasks is an hour they're not focused on growing the business, serving customers, or even more important, innovating. When your team wins, you win. And when your team wins, you don't just grow revenue, you grow profit, and the team sees a future with great leadership. This is The Digital Dilemma. I am Nick Dreyfus. Thank you for listening. And if you're serious about growth, stop pointing fingers at your team and start building the technology foundation they need to win.